WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I'm in Switzerland. Wow. I'm at the distillery Langatun, and today I have their Winter Wedding. Winter Wedding is a marriage of two different types of whiskey from the distillery. You see on the bottle, one, the Old Deer, which is a very mild single malt, and you have the Old Bear, which is a peated smoky whiskey from Switzerland. You put the two together, both of those were actually matured in a Chardonnay cask for about 5 to 6 years, and then they receive a finish either in a sherry cask, that would be the Old Deer, or in a Châteauneuf-du-Pape, in the case of the Old Bear. I actually do have a bottle here of the Old Deer. This is the somewhat older version of the bottle. So they've changed the bottle design since then. I like it. It's very, very nice. It's very, very smooth. I call it the Glenmorangie aus Switzerland. So we're going to try the two versus each other. This is, as I said, the Old Deer. You have more of like a male type of deer there. This was actually produced in February 2009. It was bottled in April 2016. The bottle I bought in 2017. So it's been on the shelf now for about 1.5 years or even 2 years. Over here, this is a brand new bottle of Winter Wedding, which was filled up by the co-owner, Christoph Neuffer, which I actually did on my channel an interview with. So if you go back and you look at that, that's a very, very interesting fact. So 1857, Jacob Baumberg actually founded a distillery. And 3 years later, he founded a brewery. And then 1972, he actually laid down the pipes so that from the top of the mountains, there was a spring. He had fresh spring water he'd bring down to the valley and be able to make his beer and his spirits with it. His son, 1907, took over the company 50 years later, Hans Baumberger number 2. And then what happened is 1939, there actually was it was forbidden to use corn as well as grain or potatoes to make whiskey or spirits with. Why? Because of World War II, and they needed to have the products to actually feed the population. Well, what happened was this general law remained in power until 1999. So a total of 60 years in Switzerland, they were not allowed to make any type of spirits from grain or potatoes. And so Hans III, 1979, decided after 40 years of waiting, decided to just sell his brewery. They were able in Switzerland to make a weak type of beer. It was a special concession to the people, but he sold his brewery. It landed up in the hands of Carlsberg in Denmark. Well, 1999, they finally repealed the law. And so Hans III, the guy who sold the brewery, decided, hey, in honor of my grandfather, let's make a distillery. And that's what he did. He founded a distillery in Switzerland, one of the very, very first. And in 2008, the first time the Old Deer was actually then bottled and sold. They kept on growing. 2013, Jim Murray actually discovered this whiskey and gave one of the different bottlings a unbelievable score of 96 points. Especially with European whiskeys, I really don't understand how that guy does that. I've tasted some of his whiskeys. It's like 82, 85. He's like 97. It's like, no, I don't want you got. But that's definitely not what I got. In 2014, they moved into a new headquarters that is actually an old grain warehouse. Beautiful, beautiful building. It's more of a museum than a distillery in Wagen in Switzerland. That's by Basel. And 2016, one of the grandchildren, I guess, here of Hans III also became an owner. That's Christoph Neuffer. He actually filled up this bottle for me. And 2018, they brought onto the market a 10-year-old single malt Swiss whiskey, which is really kind of cool, to be honest. All right, so as I said, the Old Deer and the Old Bear both had about 5 to 6 years in a white Chardonnay cask. And then they had a finish in the sherry as well as the Châteauneuf-du-Pape. That is a red wine Bordeaux. All right, let's just try this. There's a smoky type of bacon moment in that back part. It's just a tiny little bit, but it's definitely evident, but not really a disturbing factor. Over here, the non-smoky whiskey. Very, very nice. As I said before, I call these the Glenmorangie of Switzerland. Basically just a great baseline whiskey. Nothing to actually criticize. Nothing's wrong with these at all. All right, nothing to write home about and go, oh, this is the best whiskey ever. Not that either, but they're very, very nice. So let's try the Winter Wedding. Starts off very nice. The white Chardonnay actually kicks in. And then a little bit of wood the grains kick in. And towards the end, there's a little bit, for me, it goes down. There's a little bit of that smoky bacon. For example, you put a smoky bacon in your quiche. Other people are going to go, oh, it goes up. For me, it goes down there. But very, very nice. Smooth, creamy, vanilla. Viscosity, exactly how I like it for a whiskey. This is a great whiskey. This is a B minus whiskey. Value for money over here at 69 to 79 euros, so we're running about $85 to $100. Gonna give it a C plus. Half-liter bottles, don't forget. If you really want to try something fantastic, the Jacob's Dram is probably one of the best whiskeys I've had that has not come out of Scotland for a long, long time. This is actually made by Langatun. This is a commemorative bottling for the grandfather, the great-great-grandfather that actually started the distillery back in 1857. This was distilled on the 30th of September 2011. It was bottled in December 2018. It was in a Pinot Noir cask the entire time. Very, very nice stuff. Excellent, excellent. If you can ever get your hands on Jacob's Dram, please do. This is one of the best world whiskeys out there, in my personal opinion. This is not bad. As I said, this is more of like an A minus type of thing. This is a solid B minus. Very, very well done. All right, my question of the day is, what is your favorite whiskey from Switzerland? All right, next question. What whiskeys do you know that come from Switzerland? So, as I said, there's Sentis that use beer barrels, and then they finish them as well. Maybe you've heard of Snow White. Maybe you heard of the Dreifaltigkeit, which is called the Trinity of whiskeys. Maybe you've heard here of Langatun. Maybe you've heard of other places. What whiskeys do you know of that come from Switzerland? Thank you very much for watching. WhiskyJason here, a whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Swiss whiskey must be rare, right? Thank you very much. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, my videos come out. Please like, please subscribe, and please also tell others about this crazy guy who's tasting whiskey you may never ever see. All the best. Bye-bye.